Arizona's Department of Education has launched an empowerment hotline for concerned citizens, for parents to report public school lessons that are inappropriate and detract from teaching academic standards. Sounds like something all parents would be for, but Arizona's Democratic Governor, Katie Hobbs, says the effort is an attempt to fearmonger and will drive a wedge between teachers and students as well as families.
This is a tool that doesn't need to exist, and it's just going to create further division. Quite frankly, I think the superintendent is out of touch of what is really going on in our classrooms.
I wonder who's out of touch. Does Governor Hobbs believe that there's nothing inappropriate being taught in public school classrooms, or does she believe that parents should not have a way to do something about these things when they do come up? Well, joining me now to discuss this is Tom Horne, Arizona's new superintendent for public instruction, who has launched the hotline. Superintendent, welcome to Washington Watch.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be with you.
So the governor says the hotline is not needed, but I think you have a different view. Tell us about it.
I do. The hotline is for people to report teaching that focus on race or ethnicity rather than individuals and merit. It's a little description of critical race theory, but people always, when you say critical race theory, want you to define it. So I defined it in that hotline, promoting gender ideology, social emotional learning that detracts from academics, and inappropriate sexual inappropriate sexual content. So that is what we want people to tell us about. It is needed. During COVID, parents were able to see what their kids were learning because it was online and they could see it on their laptops, and they were outraged by what they saw, and they went in large numbers to school board meetings, and these were not people who want to protest. They felt compelled to because they were outraged by what they saw, and I agree with them. I urged them to be civil when they went to the school board meetings, but I agree with their outrage.
Now, you were just elected to superintendent of instruction, and you've traveled the state, and this was an issue that you talked about in the campaign. It was something that the people and the voters wanted, is it not?
Absolutely, yes. Now, I was just elected, but I served as state superintendent of schools from 2003. I was elected in 2002 till 2011. Then I was attorney general, and now I'm superintendent of schools again. When I announced I would run for superintendent of schools, my friends said, "Tom, you're going backwards. You were the attorney general." And my response to that was, the big problems are in the schools, and that's really what I want to work on.
Well, yeah, we've seen that all across the country, and we've seen parents, as you talked about, the silver lining, I think, to COVID was that parents actually saw what was happening in the classrooms. And this is relatively new. I mean, I would say this really began to move forward during the Obama administration, where we saw a lot of these things really percolate downward from Washington, as well as coming up from college campuses. I mean, look, parents are paying for education. They're the ones, that's their tax dollars. Should they not have a voice in what's happening in the classroom?
Yeah, they should. There was a candidate for governor in Virginia who said parents should not have input into their kids' education. So the parents saw to it that he had no input into the kids' education.
That is so true. He did. And Governor Youngkin, who is now the governor of Virginia, has made education a central point of his administration, making sure that parents do have a voice in that education. So I know we played the response from the governor. What response have you been getting from parents after announcing this hotline?
Well, I've gotten a lot of positive response, and I've also gotten a lot of hate mail. But I'm used to hate mail. I got that all through the campaign, and I just ignore it.
So where's the hate coming from? Is it coming from parents?
No, well, you never know, but a lot of people identify them as teachers, and then they throw the F-bomb at me. So I don't know that they're very good role models as teachers. But I'm sure I get it from other people as well. It's a polarizing issue, but I had to decide. I was very upset about what was going on in the schools, and I had to decide, would I sit at home and have smoke come out my ears, or would I get out there and do something? I decided to get out there and do something, and I'm determined to fight against critical race theory and excessive social emotional learning and sexual content and the things that don't belong in our schools and that are having a very negative, poisonous effect, in my opinion.
So, have you had conversations with any of your counterparts in other states that are contemplating an empowerment line like this as well?
A lot, yeah. A lot of people have contacted us from other states because we're the first in the country. Well, not on the Empower line. Actually, on empowerment scholarship accounts, parental choice, we're the first in the country.
Right.
On the empowerment line, not that much from other states. Some, I'm told there's somebody in North Carolina who's a big fan of what I'm doing and says they need someone like me in North Carolina.
Well, I hope other states will take your example and follow it, because we need a way for parents to have input into the process.
Absolutely, and we got to get the nonsense out of there, and we got to get the academics up. The test scores are at the bottom of the barrel. Under my predecessor, who emphasized things like social emotional learning and critical race theory, I'm emphasizing academics. We got to get the kids to learn more and get their test scores up so that they can compete in an internationally competitive economy.
That's right. We need to focus on those things that are essential. Superintendent Horne, great to see you. Thanks so much for taking time to join us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on with you.
All right.